An injunction for protection is one resource that's available to survivors of domestic violence and other types of violence as well, where she can petition the court and ask a judge to issue an order. They're also referred to as restraining orders that will put an order in place saying that a perpetrator of domestic violence can't contact the survivor, can't come within so many feet. There's all sorts of options the judge has to put into this order to try to keep physical space between the survivor and the perpetrator. Again, an injunction for protection can be an incredibly useful and effective tool for some survivors of domestic violence, but in other situations, it might not be the best route and may actually increase her danger. One of the things that I do is I'm the chair of our local domestic violence fatality review team, and we've reviewed multiple cases here locally where there is an active injunction in place. So it's important to remember, while for some abusers, if they're served with that paperwork, they're going to stay away. But for other perpetrators, it can actually increase the level of violence. But that's again why it's important that we have a conversation with the survivor to determine if this is in fact something that's going to increase her safety or increase her danger. There's also a lot of other things that come into play with that decision, like if there's children in common, the knowledge of knowing that there's probably some sort of visitation that's going to be put in place, whether it's supervised or unsupervised, which is another, something else that's taken into consideration by survivors while they're in the process of leaving or take steps like this. Because if there are children in common, now potentially her child is going to be spending time with this perpetrator of violence, and she's not going to be there to help keep that child safe. So survivors have a few different options if they're interested in filing for a petition for an injunction for protection. They can go to the courthouse and fill out the petition on their own is one option. We also encourage them to consider meeting with one of our outreach advocates. People can go to our outreach location, which is a public location, to meet with an advocate who can not only assist them with filling out the paperwork, there's a narrative that has to be written, and it's a legal document that can be confusing of who's the petitioner, who's the respondent, what needs to be included, what's not necessary to include. So we have advocates that can assist with that process. Survivors can also call our 24-hour hotline, 247-SAFE. We have deputized advocates that work on our hotline and are able to assist with filing petitions after hours, weekends, anytime that the courthouse is closed.